have needed or wanted, discovered a need, an opening perhaps, if you will, for a 35mm prime. Went to lensrentals.com. They didn't sponsor this, and they probably wouldn't if they knew what I was doing, because why would they? And I picked up one copy each to rent for the weekend. The Canon f2 and the Canon f1.4L. If you're going to shoot wide open and you can make yourself save an extra $1,000, do it. If you're going to not shoot wide open, you're going to be totally fine with the cheaper one. Right off the bat, pros and cons. This one is a whole stop faster, and it is so pretty and large that I love it. I'm sorry, Roger. And this one, the cheaper one, it's f2, which is still quite fast.
It looks lamer. The other one was so pretty.
It does have image stabilization, which is very nice. This one does not have that. It doesn't come with the lens hood, something that I forgot about when renting it. And it's also about $1,000 less.
These pictures are really crooked, Alex.
I know.
Do either of them come with a level?
If you use the camera in live view mode, it does. So the Lens Rentals folks publish a lot of MTF charts because they're insane and awesome, and I love that. This one's better. It's also $1,000 more. The real question is it worth another 1,000 of my dollars? It could be worth many thousands of your dollars for all I know. That was really the question. So we devised a three-part, I would say reasonably rigorous, though certainly not scientific test, wherein we shot a bunch of nudie pictures with these two pretty lenses.
Keep watching for the nudity.
Nudity inbound. But YouTube nudity. PG-13. So first we went to a outside place by the river and shot there at, and we did everything at 2 apertures. We did everything wide open, so f2, f1.4, and then everything at f8 for both lenses to sort of get the feel of all of that. Then we did a kind of a bright, airy thing in the living room, where we just shot them both wide open with artificial light. And then we did a much sort of more controlled, tighter light setup on the seamless, where we ended up shooting both of them at f2.8, just because that's where how the lights worked out. Really, ultimately, this one's really nice, guys. Hold on, I'm being handed a graph.
Copious notes were taken.
Copious notes were taken. This is our data. It's incredibly rigorous, but basically when we were comparing Etta went through all the pictures and kind of found the most, the matchy ones, and then showed me first one lens and the other without telling me which order or which lens was which, and just said which one is better. And when they were both shot wide open, I picked the 1.4 every time. Every fucking time.
We're gonna go bankrupt.
When they were stopped down to f8 for the outdoor stuff, it was a bit closer. And then when we were shooting on the seamless with all the controlled lights and both lenses were f2.8, it was 50-50. I couldn't consistently tell a difference. My goodness, 1.4 looks really, really nice. If you're going to shoot wide open and you can make yourself save an extra $1,000, do it. If you're going to not shoot wide open, you're going to be totally fine with the cheaper one, because it's really a very nice lens as well. It doesn't seem to hold its sharpness quite as much to the edges, which is what the MTF chart would indicate. If you're kind of doing like a thirds kind of composition, a lot of times like your subject in a wider shot will go like here, and then you've got all this stuff here, and then like the center of the frame is not necessarily the point of most interest. And the f2 definitely, you kind of that far out in the frame you do start to lose a little bit of the sharpness. It's not bad or anything, but that's definitely one of the things that I was noticing, whereas the 1.4 stayed pretty good edge to edge. I mean, obviously you're going to lose a little bit, but it didn't give up a whole lot. Stop down, they both were awesome, pretty much no matter what you did. I did notice that the 1.4 seemed to focus a little bit more consistently, and I don't know if there was, I didn't check the focus micro adjustment with my camera to see if there's a minor, front or back focus issue, which is really common and not really a problem. If there is, it's a fixable thing. It's built into the camera. I did notice, however, though, that the 1.4 nailed focus more consistently than the f2 did. The color rendition on both of them seemed really similar. I didn't notice any big, like, you know, this one's washier, this one's punchier kind of thing. They both seemed about the same, just nice, solid Canon colors on that, you know, pleasantly warm. In terms of weight, again, sorry, Roger. The 1.4 is obviously substantially heavier, and it's not like a little bit, it's like twice as much. It's a lot heavier. When it's on the camera, you do notice it, but it's well balanced, especially with a larger DSLR like the 5D SR there. I found the shooting experience to be pretty much the same with both of them. It felt like when we were doing the seamless shoot, because there wasn't a lot of ambient light, the extra aperture on the 1.4 was a little nicer to have, just like looking through the viewfinder and getting your focus points. But in terms of handling, once they're on the camera, despite the size and weight difference, they really, you know, it was something that I like would notice. I'd put it on and be like, oh, this one's heavier, this one's lighter, and then immediately forget about, because they're both very comfortable. So that's nice. I appreciate that. Comfort is key. I basically wear pajamas all the time. These are my outside pajamas, even though I'm inside. The takeaway for me was that, especially wide open, the 1.4 has this delightfully, wonderfully 3D quality to it that really reminds me in a lot of ways of, like, when you look through like the ground glass of a medium format camera or a large format camera, you get this depth even in that flat plane that you just don't get looking through the viewfinder or even at most pictures from a, you know, just a normal, you know, size camera. And the 1.4 images have that, and that's just like, to me, that was just like okay, I think I want this. As an aside, every now and then you'll see people say like, do any photographers really need 1.4? Well, what is need, really? Like, does anyone need to do photography? No. It's been invented for like 150 years. You don't need it to do anything. But do you like it? Yeah. I like 1.4 a lot.
Talks about it in his sleep.
Fast one.
This is weird and sexual. Stop.
Aperture.
We're never gonna financially recover from this.